The following presentation is brought to you through the paid memberships of NotaryStars.com, the only notary training platform and resource library with over 150 hours of training on every loan product under the sun. Together with our sister website, OnlineNotariesPublic.com, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary, we strive to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without overfabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support us, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member and trusting us to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
Well, hello friends and buongiorno paisanos. It's Monday again. Woohoo! We're back and thrilled to see you. Thank you for spending your evening with us. Today is Monday, July 15th, 2024, and this is MGM, also known as Monday General Mentorship, brought to you by Notary Stars every Monday except for holidays, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're new here or just not quite sure who we are, Notary Stars is your one-stop training platform for everything under the notary sun, from rock-solid basics to mastering 32 plus different loan file types for notary signing agents. We've got you covered. We even conquer the mysteries of remote online notarizations, RON, and we have the best notary business marketing course that focuses on teaching you how to market your business so you can shine like the star you are. And no, we are not a certificate program, I'm sorry to tell you, but rather a continuing education platform that brings you all of the latest education and keeps you up to date with industry changes as they happen. Your MGM crew is here tonight. My name is Beth Hathout, and I'm joined by Mr. Ronnie Mickle, Mr. William Bumfrey, aka Mr. Bill, and Miss Kirsten Bly. We're all here to help you excel in your notary journey. By the way, we had a great open house last Saturday where we had over 560 people registered to join in, and we covered the intricacies of buyer loan assumption package. Everyone was given a front row seat to discover our style of in-depth training here at Notary Stars. And if you were there and were participating until the end, you had a chance to win one of over 4 prizes that were given away during that Saturday session. It just seems like Mr. Ronnie always is surprising us. It's the end of some of these live sessions that we have. We just never know what he's going to come up with. Tonight's session, guys, is all about you, though, the amazing notary, nationwide notary community who are dedicated to signing agent excellence. After all, you're here to hone your craft, to become an industry whiz, and to be the go-to notary everybody dreams of. So let's make tonight epic. Turn on those cameras, guys. We want to see those smiling faces. If you have questions or a tip to share, don't be shy. Ask away. Use the raise hand feature or post your comments in the chat. Which reminds me, keep your eye on the chat throughout the evening or in the description if you're watching the replay for links to other important information. We also have all those great questions everyone pre-submitted on our jot form to get to tonight. So I'm not going to waste too much more time yakking over here as we have a lot of ground to cover. So I'm going to just ask Mr. Ronnie if you are ready to kick off this session.
Absolutely. So the first thing I'm dropping into the chat tonight is the meeting link that we are all on right now. Consider copying and pasting that and emailing it to another notary friend and saying, hey, join me here. All you need is a registered Zoom account. We'd love to have your friends come to this meeting as well. I do have a couple of announcements other than that. This Friday, we're going to be having a special guest. If you are a Notary Star member, you have access to all the RON platforms that we can get. Come give us an interview. Show us about their platforms. It's already a part of your journey. But if you're not a member and you want to learn about Pro Notary, the new RON platform on the block, they've actually been around for a little while, you can register for the event. Kirsten should be dropping that into the chat right now. So if you want to learn about Pro Notary, you do have to register for the event. The next thing that we have coming up is on June 22nd, next Monday, our general mentorship will be converted to learning about my life and wishes. Now, I know you've probably heard about this with other camps, but there is a takeaway from the meeting on next Monday. We're going to be showing you 2 marketing techniques that have not been covered by Notary community anywhere that I know of, that I can find, that I've consulted with my students. You can use this technique for my life and wishes, and you can also use it for other platforms. So you get to learn about my life and wishes, how you can implement it into your business. Kirsten will also be dropping that into chat. If you're not a member, doesn't matter. You can attend this event. It's a Monday General Mentorship. Now, I want to make sure everybody points out we've just today added, we kind of did a test market. Thank you for those that have purchased it. If you are in need of a business card, a resume, an ID lanyard, Kirsten is now heading that up at Notary Stars. She's our newest member, by the way. So she's in my marketing class. She knows what she's doing. She can help you get your resume, your business card, and your lanyard ID ready. And she just dropped that in the chat. Next thing, and I'm going to roll these off. I want to say thank you for nominating us for the Influencer of the Year, but we still need your vote to win. If you have not yet voted, Kirsten will drop that into the chat as well. I've said it many times. I'll say it again tonight briefly. This will not be a vanity thing for me. This is all about the Notary Stars community. All of those that support Notary Stars, including yourself, will be mentioned. I will make sure that this community lives up to what it's all about, which is all inclusivity, making sure that we always recognize those that have made us who we are. And we need your vote to make that happen. And of course, keeping the truth about the notary community is what we really want to do. The next thing that I want to mention before we move on is you are now available to add your training from Notary Academy. And I want to make sure this is correct, mynotaryacademy.com. So if you train with mynotaryacademy.com, you can add that now to your Notary Stars profile in your training section. We honor trainings that are valid so that people can find out about it. And we've already got their logo. For those of you that know about the new profiles that are coming, which are going to be so amazing, you'll be able to display that logo. And I do know that they're very like-minded for notaries as Notary Stars. And we will be accepting that training at Unlimited Ink Notary. Okay. So if you are on the fence and you're like, hey, I took my Notary Academy and Notary Stars and you're asking for Notary to Pro, we're adding that into the mix of what we're accepting at Unlimited Ink Notary so that we will be accepting toward that education as well when you're trying to get chosen for signing. So if that's one of those trainings, it will be one of the trainings that we take. Now, with that said, I'm going to ask you all to please turn on those cameras because we are about to get started. And your faces mean something to us. We want to see them. We want to interact with you, and so do other notaries. So please turn on those cameras. Let's treat this 1 hour that we get to come together like church, where we, get to see each other and shake hands and help each other. Miss Beth, what are we getting started with tonight?
I think you had a little bit of an announcement that you wanted to talk about when we as business owners are interacting on social media. And it was brought up by the recent political events. Did you want to comment on that really quickly?
I did. And you guys know I try very hard to follow you back on Instagram, social media, personal accounts. I want to let you know that I've seen a lot of things on social media about what happened this weekend. We all know what it is. I don't want to get into a political conversation, but I need to tell you, I've seen it from both sides. Okay. And that's one of the positions of having 10,000 followers and following back is I get to see both sides of the fence, really. Okay. Some of you may only have 1,000 friends or 500 or 700. I have 10,000 and growing, and I get to see both sides. And today I actually called a few members of Notary Stars and said, hey, you may want to rethink this post. And one of the posts that really spoke to me was, it said, if you are celebrating the events of this weekend, then you should see yourself off my friends list. And I thought, I can relate to that. And I don't want to get into my political views at all. I can relate to that because every human life matters, right? But we can find a perfect way to say that without bringing our political views into it. As a business owner, your political views have to go way far to the background. And when you post something like, if you don't like this, get off my Facebook, you may be feeling really good about that at the moment. However, you have to think about the people you're telling to leave. You've been telling them that you own a business, you've been sharing your life with them for I don't know how long. And on the way out the door, they might think, you know what? I'm about to mess this person up because their political views may be as far the other direction as yours. So when you own a business, you have a responsibility to your community to be political neutral. There's no business out there that isn't, and especially notaries. So if you are out telling your friends, hey, I own a business, support me, tell your friends about me, you may want to keep your political views out of it just because you don't know what they're going to wind up doing on the way out the door. And it may feel good in a moment to say something, but just be very, very careful. Okay. And I say this with love, and I only say it from the business owner perspective. You just don't want to get caught where you tell someone to leave and they take 100 people with them. We got to be very careful for that.
Great advice. Really good advice. Hey guys, if you have a question or you have a tip or something that you want to share, get your hands up now. We have a ton of questions that were submitted over the Jot forum, and thank you so much for that. But honestly, I don't want to read questions all night. I want to talk to you guys. You got a question, put your hand up, we'll get to you. But let's go ahead and start with the first question on here, Mr. Ronnie. This is from Heidi. She said, hi. I'm a new official member. Great training on Saturday, by the way. I'm going through the training now on the website. My question is, on the training tracker, how do you know we have gone through all of the training videos in the modules if that isn't automated? How do we get certified once we completed the training modules? And is there a test? One more question, take a breath. Is it possible the answer is somewhere on the site? I just haven't gotten to it yet.
So I really appreciate this question. I did write back Heidi, but I told Beth I wanted this to be one of the very first questions tonight. So Notary Stars is not a certification program. We made that into the announcement tonight. We're going to make that even more clear. To me, a paper certification, you can take it as you leave it. People take a certification and then come back 3 years later, and if you don't use it, you lose it, kind of thing, right? I learned French. I've lived there for 3 months. Can't speak a lick of it today. I could probably read some of it, but again, you don't use it, you lose it. So when it comes to Notary Stars, we do have the training tracker that helps you guide you through the videos, what you've watched, what you haven't. If you've been away for a while, you can come back and start over again. We are no longer tracking training in the background. A lot of the notaries that come to us now, especially in the last 5 years, have turned it into a resource library. We have so much more than just training on files. It's become like a resource library. So I always say the proof is in the pudding when you go to the table. If you come and watch 10 videos and you don't absorb anything and you were cooking dinner while you were doing it, it doesn't matter. It's not going to help you. So it's no longer being tracked in the background. When we had 10 videos, we have 150 hours of training now. It's really up to you to say, do I understand these videos? Am I ready to go out in the field? Did I make mistakes this month? Should I watch the videos again? It's really up to you as a business owner to track where you are. I don't want to do a certification course, again, for what I just said. People take a certification and then it gets them ready. And then some of us go on breaks, or, I just met with a Notary Star an hour ago. Like, he's not working right now. He's on the road touring for buses, and it's going to be off the road for a few weeks. Maybe when he comes back, he might say, you know what, I'm going to watch a video, get brushed up, go back out in the field. Some people go away for longer. I just had a Notary Star who is going on military leave for a little while, and they said, I don't want to lose my listing, but I'm going to be out of the country. We all have our reasons for coming and going, and we work with different file types for a while. It's really continuing education, what we do here, and we try to bring you up to the date industry news as a part of Notary Stars. So we're not tracking that any longer in the background. And I hope I answered that as briefly as possible.
Maybe, I think. Yeah, we're just not tracking it anymore, guys. This is continuing education. It's for your benefit. You can come and go as you please. But we're always here bringing you the latest updated training for sure. We do have a hand up, Mr. Mickle. Maurice, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Oh, Maurice, I was trying to send you the ask to unmute and I accidentally muted you again. There you go.
Hello, Miss Beth and Ronnie. How you doing?
Good.
I got a question for you. It's kind of a little, not but the ones that's like on the yearly now. What if you just want to pay for another year in advance? Is that possible? Instead of waiting till
You mean on Notary Stars?
right. Instead of just waiting till it expire, if you just want to pay an extra year now, can you do that?
It'll automatically renew, and I would love to do that because it's great for cash flow. However, I have learned that some people may not live out their membership, and so it's just not a great thing for me to take it until it's time or the company to take it. So I would love to do it. If you have a personal situation, you can always reach out to me, but it's not something that I'm looking to implement where you can like prepay for an advanced year because that's a long time. But if you have a particular situation, you can always email me at contact@notarystars.com. Let me know why you want to do it, and of course I'll honor it. But again, I've had Notary Stars that are no longer with us on this planet, and I wound up refunding their family's money, because they had paid up to a year and didn't live that long. So I'm a little reluctant to start going past a year.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maurice. He's wanting to ensure his future, Mr. Mickle.
We definitely want you here. I just want to make sure you're going to be here and that money doesn't go to waste for somebody that you can leave it to.
All righty, let's go back to our jot form list. This came in from an anonymous poster. It says, should I be asking for a print fee when my signing cancels? Now, I have an opinion that's different from what Mr. Mickles is going to be, only because he's a signing agency owner. So would you like to comment on that, Mr. Mickle?
So I do believe in print fees because even though I'm a signing agency owner, I'm also a notary, been out in the field for many, many years, and those really help us out. The thing that I want to say is I recently had a notary who had 3-4 pages to print, and it was 3 hours before the signing, and they really wanted a print and trip fee. Now at Unlimited Ink, if it's a seller file, it's a certain price. If it's a buyer's file, and then if you travel to the table, we always pay the full rate as long as you call us. Okay. They didn't travel. It was 3 hours before the signing. It wasn't Saturday, but they wanted a print fee. So I said, okay, I'll give you, I think we calculated up where it would be like 3 cents, even if you were buying the most quality paper and the stuff. And I was like, sure, I'll give you this, but it's going to cost me more to write the check than it is to give you a print fee. And if they had said yes, they would never be working with us again. They didn't really think about it. So you got to kind of analyze the situation. If you printed 2 sets of long documents, it's within 2 hours of the closing, you may want to assess the situation. And if also if they're not like Unlimited Ink offering, if they're a high volume client for you, meaning they're giving you tons of business, you may just want to kindly have that conversation with a scheduler just to see and not really be pushy about it. But I do believe in print and trip fees for sure. We have them in place at Unlimited Ink Notary, and even if the client doesn't pay for them, we do. That's my take on it, Miss Beth. I'd love to hear your take.
Well, I'm all about the details, okay? I think a print fee shouldn't be called a print fee. A trip fee, if you're going, absolutely. But I think it should be a time and a trip fee, because here's the deal. The expenses, what she's asking for and what you calculate at 2 cents or 3 cents a page to print is always already expensed in your notary accounting, right? You bought a ream of paper, you're expensing that ream of paper. You bought toner, you're expensing that toner. You bought a printer, you're expensing that equipment in your accounting, in your taxes at the end of the year. So for me, it's time. The time that it took me to print and prep that document package. The time it took me to drive to that appointment and then find out that they had no intention of signing. So while we call it a print and trip fee, some signing services will say, we don't pay a print fee. And you didn't go to the signing. But I spent 30 minutes or 40 minutes putting this package together. Granted, my paper and my toner is already expensed on my taxes. My time isn't. So that's where I'm at. I'm all about the detail. I want the time compensation.
I appreciate, and you brought that to my attention also, is that you're already writing off your paper and your ink and toner and things like that already. So time becomes the next thing that you can convert to on that. Now, if you start having that conversation with signing services, like I need to be compensated for my time, they may not understand it. So you may need to like properly educate them with that conversation. I get it because I have a Beth in the background, right? Not everybody has a Beth on their side to kind of help with that conversation. So be careful with your words on how you address something with a signing service.
Listen, doctors charge you $25 if you don't cancel your appointment, 24 hours in advance. I mean, we need some kind of respect here. I'm not calling for a mutiny, so don't do that, guys.
Yep, Miss Beth, I forgot to mention at the beginning too, before we keep going, if you entered in for the free scanner, we have all the names spinning on a little wheel up here. And I'm looking at it. If you were here before the meeting started, it looks beautiful with all your names. So we'll be giving away a scanner at the end of tonight's session. So you get about 40 minutes until that happens.
Ooh, which really ties into the next question in the jot form. It's from Amanda. She says, I'm a new signing agent and I'm on a budget. What things do I absolutely need to get started aside from a good Notary Stars education?
That's a really great question. And I'm going to actually defer Amanda to our website. We have a section there called Brand New Notaries Start Here. And we have a success roadmap that tells you basically the 9 steps of things you have to have before even Notary Stars education. I think that we couldn't have done it any better. And I do have to give a nod to a former Notary Star member, Heather. You guys remember her before even Beth dropped in. There was Heather. Heather wrote that, and we have not changed it except for Miss June, who is here tonight, who is our eagle eye, took it and wrote it even better. It has not changed in 5 years, and it hasn't changed 5 years before that. It's what everyone has to do. So I highly recommend going to notarystars.com if you're a brand new notary, clicking on that brand new notary start here and going to that success map. It will tell you what every single person that is here tonight and everyone after us and everyone before us had to do in order to even start learning loan signings.
Perfect. Maurice has got his hand up once again. Maurice, do you want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question?
And Mr. Maurice, before you go, I want to let everybody know we go back and forth between the jot form. We love that you write them in because we want to hear your voices. We want to see your faces. So please, if you brought something tonight, you've got something you want to share with the notary community, it doesn't have to be a question. It can be something that you want to share. Bring up those hands because we would love to bring you to the forefront. And now, Mr. Maurice, thank you for letting me get those words out.
Ronnie, I got a question for you. As the owner of a signing agency, I know back, I'm gonna say a year ago, everybody was, rah, 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 this is the thing to do. And, they were making a lot of money. So now it has, I'm gonna say, it's probably done slowed down. So if you got a notary that, that's new and, the fees are not really that high, like they used to be, wouldn't you say it's I would say that it's a good thing that they still go out and do that signing to get some experience up under their belt. That would be a good thing to do, wouldn't it?
I'm very torn when it comes to that. So it really depends on the company, and I think you can, as a new notary, you have to be very careful. I've had to start over 3 times living across the country, moving from Los Angeles to Miami to Arizona. And by the time I got to Arizona, there were some that I didn't want to work with, even though I was starting over. I didn't care about the paycheck coming in. It really depends on that notary's experience. If they're looking for experience, I would say that take them, the first 50, consider it a learning curve. But I do think that signing services, and I don't have the highest fees in the country. Everyone knows that. I'm not going to sit here and say that I do, but I don't have the lowest either, and I'm far from it. I think it depends on what you're getting out of that order. Maybe take one if they're giving you support and answering questions. Part of the reason that Unlimited Ink pays what it pays is we are offering 100% full notary support. If you're getting full notary support, you can get someone on the call to go through a complete package with you, and you're going to get that experience, and they're there to review your scans and help you get to the success, and will be kind to you if you make a mistake. That is worth its weight in taking the order, and you're getting paid for it. So it really depends on what you're getting out of it. Now, a company like, I won't say their name, but because we're recording this, it's going to go on YouTube, and I don't feel like editing it out, but we can all figure out what I'm saying. Notary, no. You get no support whatsoever from working with them, and they have the lowest fees in the country. I would not tell a brand new notary to start there. And so I'll leave it at that. I think it depends on the quality of what you're getting out of it. And I don't know if you want to mute there, or if, yeah, you want to unmute. I just want to make sure that answers your question. Ms. Beth, can you send the request to unmute? I can't find it on this screen.
I can't find him on the screen. He'd have to raise his hand one more. Oh, for Maurice? There we go.
Yeah,
I got him.
Okay, Ronnie. Yeah, you answered my question. I was just, because, sometimes when new notaries may come to the general mentorship, then, they might, have the same question. And, I know that, they want to get out there and earn some money. And, I know that you're always going to be transparent. That's why I always like coming here.
Well, thank you very much. And, the answers may change in 2 years. We're ever evolving. I would have told you something different 5 years ago, but at this moment, with what I know now, that's where I stand on it.
All righty. Let's go ahead and move on to Nicola. Would you like to unmute and ask your question, Nicola?
Hello. Hi, I'm from Jacksonville. This is my second time on the Notary Stars Zoom call meeting. So I just wanted to say hello. And it basically is a comment, and then I do have a small question. I love the support that I get with Unlimited Ink. I always feel like if I have a question, they go out of their way to find an answer for me. I had a tricky signing on Friday where the title company sent the wrong documents. They were dated for the day before that, and the support was really great about it, and they compensated me, which I appreciated. My question is the white glove service. What is it that you're looking for? I'm sure other people have asked that in the past, but I'm just curious. What does it take, and what are you looking for in a notary to become white glove service?
So white glove service at Unlimited Ink Notary is 150 orders with no errors at the time of becoming a white glove notary. So that means you could have done 200 orders and you get to, 178 and you have an error. So it's got to be 150 orders, not just with us, but with any company, with no negative feedback, no errors. And yes, we can see those things in signing order. So at that time, and you have, currently you have to have had to take in Notary to Pro and or Notary Stars combination. Now we're adding in my Notary Academy as well as one of those training courses. So it will be 2 of the 3. And we are hoping to add more training courses that we accept. as one of the two of the three, but we believe every notary out there should have at least 2 training courses under their belt. And then, at least 150 orders. Now, we'll still get you started without 150 orders. We just need to see that you can do it, 150 orders. And a lot of people go, that's a lot of orders, but actually, it's 50 orders a month is right in that starting your career kind of space. Although it may be a little slower right now, it's going to get busier. So you can definitely get there, especially if you're out of Jacksonville. You definitely can get those orders out of Jacksonville. You want to mute there again.
Alrighty.
Miss Beth, I think, okay, there we go. Miss Nicola, did we get your question answered there? Okay, got it. Perfect.
Perfect. Alrighty. Lorena Wilson, you are up. I bet your arm's getting tired holding that hand up. You want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question?
Am I unmuted?
You are.
Okay, 1 second. All right, sorry, I'm out of my work clothes. Okay. I can't go into details, but this is a what would you do question. I posted it to a few different places and I got some great answers. But just posing this question, if another notary leaves a negative review on your business page and then you try to make amends and it continues and they start publicly writing things about you on Facebook and on your Google business page, what would you do?
I have the
So
perfect.
I've got a lot of suggestions. I got a lot of suggestions. And some of those I'm going to take with me and I'm going to work with them. But like I said, I can't go into a lot of detail. I am in Florida if Kimberly's asking what date. So I just don't want to contain any more details than that part of it.
So I will tell you, and I just signed. I will tell you right now. This is. I will not show everything on camera, but we will just say, and this is fact. There's my signature. I can show that. This is a signature on a document that I just signed for a notary who went out and reviewed Unlimited Ink Notary, having never worked with us, have no communication with us, thought that they could go out and just do this. So I sued them and I won. You can sue someone, and for every day the review is up, you can calculate a value for that based on how much business you do. So my first part of advice to you is do not retaliate, because if you go out and leave a negative review on them, now you're in the mix. So it will burn you up. You will be upset. You will feel bad. You will be like, oh my God. Do not retaliate in any way, good shape, form on their postings. You can use services like Legal Shield, Cape Law, all of these things, and respond to them. I spoke about with you this weekend, one thing that, and I don't know if it's happened yet or not, but I sent it out to several Notary Stars and said, would you go out and report this review as spam or bully or competitor in order to kind of get that down? The first line of defense you have on Google or Yelp is to report it as a competitor. Okay. Don't even respond to it, because if you're responding to it, you are starting to engage in it. So if you have someone leave a review on you that you don't know, that you haven't worked with, respond to it as a competitor. After that, your next line of defense is legal action. I personally used a company called Cape Law, didn't go out and hire a big expensive attorney. I used Cape Law, who sent a demand letter that said, hey, if you don't take this down, I'm going to sue you. The next step was $600 to file it in their local state court. They didn't really take to the first notice. So when they got the court case, then they removed the reviews, because there was a monetary value attached to it. And you can have that attorney at Cape Law or Legal Shield calculate that value. And I was very smart about it. I calculated it. How many of you on this call right now, I live in the same world that you do. Just because Unlimited Ink is a multi-million-dollar company, I get a paycheck just like every single one of you. And it's not that glamorous. How many of you would like to fork out $5,000 to anyone else right now? It would suck. And that's exactly the value that I placed on it, because that would be actually I put 4,999 because that's what you can file in small claims court in California. And so you do have to work with a company that can do all of those areas, but you do have a defense. And I know that Kimberly Sennett from my Notary Academy also posted in there that said it's illegal in California to slander someone. It's actually illegal everywhere. You can go out and look at these review cases that are popping up all over the place right now. Leaving a review feels really good, but you can also be sued now for doing it. So you have that right. And I'm going to tell you, you know, these notaries that are going out and doing those sorts of things, it's best just to leave them alone, take them out of your wheelhouse, block them, but also use your legal rights against them, but keep quiet, stay in the background on it. Don't engage with them. Let the law handle it. The law will speak up really much louder than you ever think you can.
Perfect. Good advice. And slander somebody or putting up a bad review and being sued for it, it would have to be a false or untrue experience and not true. Is that right?
That's well, I was double tasking reading the chat, so I can't answer that question.
I was saying that the definition of slander is making a statement about a person or service that is untrue. If it's true, then it's not slander. It's the truth.
Yes,
right?
and one of the things in my case, and I wish I actually had it, the notary came back to say that it was their right because it was freedom of speech. But freedom of speech has to be factual. And
Yes.
you can't do it about someone who's a public figure. And because being considered a small business, you are not a public figure. So you're not allowed to write those things. And slander, I believe, is spoken word. Libel is written word. And you have a lot less chance of winning if you do libel because it's written. It is the writing on the wall. So spray paint, pen, typing on a computer, for libel, you are slander might be hard to prove. Somebody could say that you said something and you'd have to get all those people to come back and say, but libel, you have to be careful, and you have to be careful doing it too. So I know a lot of notaries love to go out and bash signing services, but I will tell you, I have already started taking them off one by one. When you want to talk about unlimited ink, if you have not worked here and we can prove it, I will sue you.
Yeah, so be careful, guys, particularly doing this in social media, because that stuff lives forever, even after you take it down.
And notaries send me screenshots all the time. Did you see this? And it's got your number, name and number on it, and you're connected to signing order. It's not that hard to reverse engineer it.
Yeah. All righty, let's go ahead and move on here. We've got somebody called Samson.
This is Mr. Badal.
Oh, Mr. Vidal.
That's me, Ronnie and Beth. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Been busy with you guys, man. You guys keeping me busy. Thank you.
It only took what, a few weeks to get your profile sorted out with signing order?
Yeah. And yesterday was the long one, so a big one.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to be joined. And you know what? I second everything Ronnie says. This guy, he goes at bat for everyone. He believes in us, and he's not the one that says, well, you know what, do this and do that. Just go ahead and do it. No, he does it for you. So I really appreciate all you've done for me and also Beth altogether. I'm grateful to be on your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for your service. I do want to use you as an example really quick before we go on this, Beth. Mr.
I was gonna say you're gonna pay Samson later for that big pat on the back, right?
Well, we do have a story together, and there's actually Kimberly Colley's on the call tonight, and she had the same issue where there is an issue where signing order doesn't always sync with the National Notary Association. So if you are in one of the unlimited ink hotspots and you're not seeing the message or you're responding a lot to them, it is a good idea to check in. Please don't everybody write me tomorrow. It's only if you've been getting orders and they stop, like Kimberly Colley or Samson was like, I'm responding, and I'm never getting assigned. It actually turned out that his NNA sync, which tells Unlimited Ink that you're an NNA notary, because we have to have that, the sync was off. And it took several weeks for us to get that resolved. And I had to keep going to signing order saying, what happened to this notary? What happened to this notary? Same thing with Kimberly Colley, but we got those resolved. And that's what Mr. Sampson's talking about, like when I'll go to bat. Like I will make sure that if you are eligible, that you will get signings. It just, sometimes it takes me a little time, and I don't own signing order. I just process a lot on there. And so they'll help me if I reach out to them.
And you know what? Speaking of that, what he did, I also had another erroneous stuff about this other lady just spoke about the review, and someone just made an error, and signing order as well as Ronnie, they went together with finding out what's going on, and the entire review was eliminated. So I'm telling you, my guys, this guy, he means truly business, and he believes in his people. So I mean, really, we all have to give him a big, hand as to what he does. He is definitely a leader, and I appreciate all he does.
Well, thank you
Checks
very
in
much.
mail, Samson.
But let me just, the reason I raised my hand, Ronnie, the lady you were speaking about in California, I don't know where this other lady was, but in California, if you are on a personal basis, like for instance, if you're doing that on an individual work as a notary, as if you're not business, then if you're individual, you can sue up to 10,000. But if you are business, then you can only do it up to 5,000. Just a note I just wanted to throw away.
Thank you. I did 599, 5,000, or excuse me, 4,999 just to prove a point. I actually wanted to do it for like $1, like Taylor Swift, because I really don't need the money. But I thought it would send a better message if I, put a monetary value on it, and it worked. Sometimes when people realize that they're going to have to pay a court fee and then cost, that was a thing. But yeah, you can use that tactic, and if you have a higher dollar amount, go for it. Just where I was suing her, they advised me that I could only take this one to small claims court to start, and that would be the maximum amount in that county that I could sue for at that court.
Oh, Samson's muted.
There we go.
We get through all of that with you, Samson.
Okay, you mentioned something in the beginning that the name of the law firm, was it Kate or Cape?
Cape, CAPE. And I will tell you, for those of you that don't have a great experience with Legal Shield, which I did not, I would never suggest them to another person. I know some people have great experiences with them. Cape Law was what I used, and that's the name. If you can see it, I think it might be in reverse.
Okay, we got it. Yeah.
That's, to me, they gave me great service. And it went very, very quickly.
Well, Mr. Ronnie, we have Kimberly Sennett's hand is up. She's from the My Notary Academy. I almost said the. Sorry, Kim. And go ahead and unmute and tell us what's on your mind.
And before you go, I want to make sure everybody knows your website is mynotaryacademy.com. There, let's just say it's mynotaryacademy.com. Don't get
It's okay. It's public information. I try not to spew it out all over everybody, but we do have somebody impersonating our business. They have quite a large following, and we are currently in a federal trademark infringement lawsuit with them.
And
so
now that we got that out,
mynotaryacademy.com, we've been in business way longer than they have. So if you're looking for us, thank you, Ronnie. Thanks for pointing that out.
And just so everybody knows, large followings that are triple numbers than the NNA, I've talked about this in many Instagram posts. Large following numbers are just showing that someone bought their followers. So I'm not really scared of followers because they don't necessarily reflect accurate numbers. Now we want to hear what you say, but now everybody knows why I keep saying My Notary Academy.
Thank you. Because legally our business name is Notary Academy, but because we are in this lawsuit, we have been kind of distinctly saying My Notary Academy so you guys can find us. I just wanted to make a comment. Thanks for having me tonight. I just wanted to let you know, as a national signing service owner, I'd like to go back to what Ronnie was saying about, the things that you put online. And so I friend a lot of people on Facebook. If you're on social media platforms, you should be savvy about the platforms that you use the most. And if you're using Facebook as personal and business, set your pages up to be that. You can set a page up that's for business, that you operate and are friends with your clients. And if you're a signing agent, you can do, escrow and title companies and so forth. And then you have your personal page, and your personal page that you want to interact with actual close friends, personal family, and such. Or if it even is strangers, either lock it down or don't put controversial stuff on your page. The reason I say this, as a signing service owner, I can tell you in the last 2 weeks alone, watching a reel of somebody that I was friends with that is a notary, the content that they put up, I immediately unfriended them. I went and I founded them and I removed them from our database. The reason I did that is because if they're so willing to put that up for everybody to see, it concerns me what the extension they are when they're sitting in front of my signers. Are they going to be talking crass? Are they going to be politically fueled? Are they going to say things that they say online? Are they actually going to say that in front of my clients? Or are they going to say, I shouldn't say my clients, to my clients, yes, escrow, title, general notary work, etc., but also to my client's client, which is the signer. So definitely take that into consideration. Go look at your profiles on whatever social media platforms you use and make sure that you differentiate and that you lock down what you don't want people to see.
Yeah. And I will tell you this too. I just have to throw this in here. I have had notaries who I see on Instagram who post pictures, and this works in two ways. If you're an influencer or trying to become an influencer, that's okay, but be very careful about it. We got onto a notary recently because he took a picture at an unlimited ink signing and it had the title, our client's information on it. And we were like, you have to remove that right now. And I removed a notary once because she posted a photo, and this was 7-8 years ago. She posted a photo, the signers had offered her mimosas, and she posted it saying, there's nothing like doing your first signing on a Saturday morning with a mimosa. After I called her, she said, no, that I was actually just drinking orange juice. Well, now you've posted that you're having a mimosa, but when she took the photo of the table, you could clearly read all of the signer's information off of their closing disclosure. And so I was just, or not the closing disclosure, the settlement statement, it had it on there. So now you're posting for everyone in your community what their house cost, their name, their address. It's just something that you don't want to post on social media. You got to be very, very careful using it for your business as a tool and make sure that those don't come out either. And if I see those things where notaries are doing that, if I zoom in and see anything, I immediately go and say, I can't have this at my signing service, and I don't even call. If I don't know you, I'm not going to call you. I'm just going to give you a blacklist, and then everyone, and I'll toast why I'm banning it, because we have to in signing order. I'm going to put irresponsibly posted whatever, cannot work at my company, and then everyone else is going to know. And generally, once you get to 5-6 blacklists, it's a snowball from there. Most people read them and like, no, don't want to deal with that either. So you got to be very, very careful with social media.
Definitely. I tell my kids that all the time. Your boss is going to see you're drinking every weekend, and something bad's not going to be what you want to see. Anyway, yeah. Alcohol, nudity, political statements, any of that stuff should not be anywhere that you're hiring parties.
Yeah, at least not around your business. I understand. Please don't take what I said in any way like, go ahead and put your alcohol pictures up. Just make sure that you are putting, who's going to see that content. Put it to your close friends or to your family or whoever. But yeah, and I'm not the only signing service that's like that. I know Ronnie's like that, but I'm very close with a lot of signing service owners in this country, and they all have the same feeling about it. You are a professional entity, and until you start acting like one, that's when our industry gets recognized as one. We see transaction coordinators making $600 to $800 for a loan. We see appraisers getting paid. We see doctors, plumbers. Everybody has a professional service, and notaries offer a very professional service, but we have to, prove to people that we are deserving of that title.
Amen. We have just 10 minutes left in our session. We've got another hand up and about 2.5 pages worth of jot form questions. You guys have been amazing. Thanks for submitting those questions on jot form. You need to know that if you're a member of Notary Stars, we will answer those jot form questions by email and post them in our sessions for you too. But we might not get to all of them. So, Mr. Mickel, we have Lorena Wilson has her hand up. Lorena, if we can get you to unmute and ask your question, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so it's not really a question.
Okay.
This one is just, I went ahead and shared it on the Notary Stars Facebook thing today, because on top of the other situation that I was having, now I have somebody that's making new profiles constantly and coming on my business page and leaving comments that it's a fraudulent account, pretending it's a Meta or a Facebook account, messaging me. So I got on Facebook last night and I went through a whole bunch of business information with Facebook to see what to do, and they said that my account's in perfect order, and they gave me the information on how to do that. So if nobody's seen that particular post, I don't know if it's still up on Notary Stars Facebook page or not, but they should go look at it, because I also left 2 links for Facebook accounts, facebook.com/accounts, and then business.facebook.com, something like that. Anyways, at the bottom of that post, it's really useful information, because we all probably have a business page on Facebook as well as our personal page, but those are places where you can go and see if you have issues with your Facebook accounts and your pages. So I just thought I'd bring that up, but I didn't have a question. It was just more of a to go and check your Facebook page out. If it's still up, I don't know. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you so much for giving us a heads up there. Anika Turner. I almost didn't get that out. I think that's right. Well, you are unmuted, but we can't hear you. And your picture's sideways, but we can deal with that. You may want to check your microphone really quickly and make sure you're using the right one. I'm going to go ahead and mute you again for now. Mr. Mickel.
Yes.
Scanners. We have a scanner waiting to be given away. Scanner is looking for a new home.
Yes. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do the scanner giveaway. So I have to preface this in order to make sure that everybody understands. I learned something this week. So we did a scanner giveaway. I'm going to get my screen prepared. Lori went through and made sure all the names are on the wheel. And I'm going to share my screen as I talk about this, because I want this to be an example for everyone. This is a perfect example. We can look and see that there are 23 names on this wheel. But if you go back to our Instagram post, there are 132 likes and 90 something comments that wanted to get entered. In that video, I gave very specific instructions on how you could win this scanner. That was to follow Notary Stars. That was to comment your name, and that was to tag another notary. Out of all of the comments, these are the only people on the screen here who actually followed all of the directions. And one of the #1 jobs of a notary is to follow the directions. and we need to make sure we read those instructions. There were 3 simple instructions here, and I'm not calling anybody not smart enough. You cannot put what you want in front of what you need in order to make something happen. So with that said, we're going to spin this wheel, and I'm going to see who wins our scanner for tonight, and they must be present. So the first name may not be the name. Oh, Tracy Stahl.
Tracy's here. She was.
I believe she's here. She is going
Tracy
to
raised her
die.
hand.
She is going to die if she is not here.
She is not here. She was
She
here.
is close enough to come pick this thing up.
Yep.
And you know, that is part of the thing, that you have to be a part of the membership. Let's get to the next. Let's just give it just a minute. Okay. The rule,
Tracy going once, going twice.
you got to raise your hand, Tracy, if you're here. It's got to be virtual. And I do believe I saw her here earlier tonight.
Oh, she was here.
Okay. All right. The rule is you have to be present to win. So we're gonna remove
Okay.
Tracy. And now we're going to spin again. So bear with us.
And guys, remember, you could be entered under a different name than what's shown on your markers on the screen. So make sure if your name is called, you raise your hand, please. Gloria Ballard.
I do not see Gloria here, but as we learned this weekend, we are going to give it a minute. And then we'll remove Gloria's name from the wheel, and anybody that's here will eventually hit one that's a winner. So going once, going twice, you got to virtually raise your hand. And actually, let me just allow everybody to unmute themselves in case they do win. Let's see, more. I got to find my controls. Let's see, meeting controls, host. I don't know how to find it when we're doing this. So, okay, so let's just say remove this one. And we're going to go again. Linda Perez. Let's see if Linda's here.
It's here.
Linda is here. Miss Linda, you have won a scanner. How do you feel?
All right. I'm here.
Raise your hand, Linda, so we can find you in the crowd.
Okay.
There you go. When you talk, when she talks, she comes up for me. Does she not come up for you?
She comes up on the spotlight screen, but yeah.
Okay, there we go. Now we got the hand raised.
Okay.
Hey, Linda.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. And all right, everybody, we are going to be wrapping up for tonight. We want to say thank you for joining us in this week. Be watching Instagram, because I'm kind of feeling very how do you say it, in the mood to give away things, and you never know what I'm going to come up with next.
Oh, can everybody mute themselves again? We're getting a little bit of crossover
I
here.
think it might just be one person, because I don't think everybody could do it. But I'm going to remove and go back to gallery view now. I'm going to ask everybody to turn on their cameras. If you
Linda will contact you and tell you how to get that scanner, okay?
She knows how to find me. She's one of my marketing students.
Yeah.
She'll be in class on Wednesday. Where's my scanner? I'm just kidding. All right, everybody. I'm going to ask if you could turn on your cameras. Thank you so much for sharing your hour with us this week. It's so important that we do this every week. We do it every week, and you invite as many notaries as you want to. But I'm going to say it my way, and then Beth is going to take it home. If you are not naked, please turn on those cameras. If you are not stuffing your face with a sandwich right now, turn on those cameras, and let's give our signature wave to everybody. Wave to yourself if you come back and watch the replay. Wave to those future notaries. Come on, Kirsten Bly. I can see you over there. You got to get those hands up in the air. You're part of the Notary Stars community now, for sure, on this side of the fence. And then, Miss Beth, how do we really say it here at Notary Stars?
Guys, I just want everybody to practice kindness. Remember, we're all in the same storm. Kirsten might have a yacht, and I might have a canoe, and Ronnie's just dog paddling, right? But everybody is in the same storm. Please remember to reach back. grab the hand of that notary beside you or behind you and just show them the way. Bring them along with you. Help them out. Have a good evening, guys.
Good night, everybody.